Dear students, in today's class, we are going to solve one problem on royalty accounts and also the important journal entries. That is why here first go through what is given in the problem. Then after that we can pass the journal entries and also we can prepare different accounts. Okay, first go through the problem. What is given here? X company limited took a lease of coal mine from Ramesh, a landlord. As per the royalty agreement, company agreed to pay rupees 1000 per ton of coal raised. It was also agreed for a minimum rent of rupees 24,000, the right of recoupment of short workings out of excess royalties during the first 3 years. In the year of strike, it was agreed to reduce the minimum rent proportionately. The output for the first 4 years was as under. In the year 2018, 18 tons of coal mine was raised. Next one is in the year 2019, 22 tons. In the year 2020, 30 tons. And in the year 2021, 20 tons of coal was raised or extracted. Just let us see here. Mr. Ramesh is the landlord. He has given his land for extracting the minerals to whom? To one of the coal companies. And coal company has agreed to pay rupees 1000 per ton of coal raised. Rupees 1000 per ton is nothing but the royalty. Next one is here the minimum rent was agreed to be paid was rupees 24,000. In case if the actual royalty is less than rupees 24,000, in that year the owner of the right, that is Mr. Ramesh, will get rupees 24,000 from the coal company. Next one is the right of recoupment of short workings is also given, that can be recovered out of the excess royalties of the first 3 years of such royalty agreement. 3 years time is there to whom? To the coal company to recover the short workings if any. Next one is output is also given. Here first thing what we have to do is we have to prepare the table calculating the royalty payable to the landlord. In the previous class you have already studied this part, how to prepare the royalty table. Now we are going to prepare royalty table. Table showing the calculation of royalty payable to the landlord. Here what are the important columns? I told you in the first column we write the year. First column is the year column. Okay, first I write the year 2018, 19, 20, 21. Okay, fine. We'll write here 2018. Next one is 2019. Next 2020, 2021. See, in the year 2021, there was a strike for 2 months. Therefore, here I write strike for 2 months. Okay. Next one is output column. Here I have to write output. In the bracket, you write in tons. Here output is given. How many tons of coal was extracted? That I am going to write here. 18, 22, 30 and 20. As I told you earlier, see after this, the next important column which we need to put here is the actual royalty. How to calculate actual royalty? Here royalty per ton is given in the problem. Rupees 1000 per ton is given. Therefore, that rate we have to apply to the tons of materials extracted. Now, we calculate actual royalty. Actual royalty. in rupees. It comes to how much? It comes to, see, 18 into 1000 comes to rupees 18,000. Next one is here 22 into 1000, 22,000. Next one is here 30,000, and again here you write, okay, 20,000. Here this is the actual royalty which we calculated by applying the rate as agreed upon by the parties. 18 into 1000 per ton. 18 tons were extracted in the year 2018. Therefore, actual royalty payable to the landlord comes to rupees how much? 18,000. In the second year 22, third year 30, and in the fourth year it comes to rupees 20,000. 20,000. Now, what we have to do is we have to write the minimum rent given in the problem. Minimum rent. What is the minimum rent in this problem? See, minimum rent agreed upon by the parties was rupees 24,000. That minimum rent I am going to write here, rupees 24,000 in the first year, rupees 24,000 in the second year, rupees 24,000 in the third year, because the minimum rent remains same for all the years. But here in the fourth year there is a strike for 2 months. Therefore, here what is to be done? The minimum rent is required to be reduced proportionately. It is given in the problem. Just you see, in the year of strike, it was agreed to reduce the minimum rent proportionately. What is the meaning of a proportionate reduction of minimum rent? Here, just you take rupees 24,000 is the yearly minimum rent which is agreed upon by the parties. Yearly in the sense it comes to rupees 2,000 monthly, right? 24,000 divided by 12 per month, it comes to rupees how much? Minimum rent comes to rupees 2,000. Now, proportionately in the sense here, how many months the strike was there? For 2 months. Therefore, here for per month it comes to rupees 2,000. For 2 months it comes to rupees 4,000. Therefore, out of 24,000, what we have to do? This 4,000 is to be deducted. Then it comes to rupees 22,000. Sorry, 20,000. Why it is required to be reduced here? Just you see, 24,000 was the actual minimum rent, but here rupees 4,000 is deducted from this. In the year 2021, we have to take rupees 20,000 as the minimum rent. Rupees 20,000 is the minimum rent. Why it is reduced here? Because during the period of strike, work stops. Therefore, the production activity, when it is stopped, the total output will go down. Because of that reason, here the owner or the landlord has given the chance to the company to minimize its loss. That is why here minimum rent can be reduced proportionately during the period of strike. If the strike is there for 1 month, 2,000 is to be deducted. If strike is there for 2 months, 4,000 is to be deducted. And if the strike is there for 3 months, 6,000, like that. You have to calculate the proportionate amount per month. Then you have to minus it from the minimum rent. Then you get the actual minimum rent for that particular year. Therefore, here in the year 2021, the minimum rent comes to rupees 20,000. Next important column is the deficit, or we call it as short workings. Short workings. In that, first we have to write deficit. Deficit. Next column is recovered or recovery, we can write amount recovered. Next one is amount irrecovered. Irrecovered. And last column is amount payable. Amount payable to whom? Amount payable to landlord. Okay, here deficit amount comes to rupees how much? See, minimum rent was 24,000. Actual royalty comes to rupees 18,000. Because in the year 2018, only 18,000 was the actual royalty. But here landlord is not going to accept rupees 18,000 because he expects the company to pay rupees 24,000, because in the royalty agreement rupees 24,000 is the minimum rent to be paid. That is why Here minimum rent is 24,000, but actual royalty comes to rupees 18,000. Therefore, here what the company does, company will pay rupees 24,000, means 18,000 plus 6,000 it will put from its pocket. That is the meaning. Here deficit comes to rupees how much? 6,000. This actual royalty 18,000 and company will put rupees 6,000 from its pocket, then 24,000 is given to the landlord. Therefore, here amount payable to landlord is how much? Rupees 24,000. Next one is in the year 2019, actual royalty is rupees 22,000. Here also shortage is there, rupees 2,000, because here the landlord is going to accept rupees 24,000, not less than that. Because of that reason, again company has to pay more. Rupees how much? Rupees 2,000 is the excess amount which is paid by the company. This is nothing but deficit here. 22,000 actual royalty and 2,000 is the amount which company puts from its side, and again 24,000 is given to whom? To the landlord. Now you see, in the first 2 years, the company has paid how much? Rupees 8,000 excess amount than the actual royalty. Actual royalty was less, but the company has paid more amount because of the minimum rent clause in the agreement. Therefore, he can recover the short workings out of the excess royalties of the first 3 years. 3 years time is there for the company to recover the short workings. In case if company doesn't recover this amount, that will be a loss for it. Because of that reason, what the company does, company will try to extract more and more what you call minerals, so that it can recover the short workings of the earlier years. Okay, fine. See, in the third year, the total royalty comes to rupees how much? 30,000. Actual royalty is rupees 30,000 and minimum rent is rupees 24,000. Here you see actual royalty is rupees how much? Rupees 30,000, right? Rupees 30,000 is there. Next one is minimum rent fixed by the landlord, rupees how much? 24,000. Therefore, here actual royalty is more than minimum rent. How much excess amount is there? Rupees 6,000. But actually, as per the agreement, rupees 30,000 is required to be paid. To whom? To the owner. But because of these short workings in the earlier years, now what the company will do? Company will pay again minimum rent of rupees 24,000 to the landlord, because this is the minimum rent which is to be paid. When 24,000 is given to the landlord, remaining 6,000 it applies for the recovery of short workings of its earlier years. Now you see, this is the last year to recover the short workings. Here total short workings how much? Of the earlier years, rupees 8,000 is there. 6,000 in the first year and 2,000 in the second year. In case if this 8,000 is not recovered out of the excess royalties of the 2020, then whatever irrecovered amount is there, that is a loss to the company. Here you see excess royalty is how much? Only rupees 6,000. Only rupees 6,000. But the short workings, rupees 8,000 is there. That is why here when rupees 6,000 is recovered, that we have to put in the recovery column. Rupees 6,000 is recovered here. Again, amount given to the landlord is rupees how much? 24,000. Now, one important aspect is there. Here rupees 2,000 you see is called as irrecovered, because this is the third year. In this year only the company has the chance to recover the short workings of the earlier years, but in this year also company could not recover the full amount of short workings, that is 8,000. Only 6,000 it recovered and rupees 2,000 remained irrecovered. Because of that reason, that is nothing but a loss to the company. Hence, what we have to do, this rupees 2,000 is to be shown in the irrecovery column, rupees 2,000. Now, amount payable to the landlord comes to rupees 24,000. Okay, come to the year 2021. Here, question of deficit doesn't arise. Why? Because actual royalty is rupees how much? 20,000 and minimum rent is rupees 20,000. I told you that minimum rent here in this problem is to be reduced proportionately. 2 months strike is there. Because of that reason, 4,000 is deducted from the minimum rent, and minimum rent comes to rupees 20,000. Actual royalty in that year also 20,000, and minimum rent is also rupees 20,000. Therefore, here there is no deficit as such, and amount payable to landlord will be rupees 20,000 only, because minimum rent for this year rupees 20,000 is there. Only during the period of strike this rupees 20,000 is to be taken, because in the other years there was no strike. Because of that reason 24,000 is taken here. But in the fourth year, because of the strike period, minimum rent is reduced, therefore 20,000 is taken. Okay. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 2 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡುವ. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಶೋಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅವನ ಹೊಲವನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅದು ಲೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಎದರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಕಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಲನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ. ಅದು ಕಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಲನ್ನ ಆಗಿ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ, ಅದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಟನ್ನಿಗೆ 1 ಟನ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಆ ರಮೇಶನಿಗೆ, ಹೊಲದ ಮಾಲೀಕನಿಗೆ 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂಡ್ rupees 24,000 ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಲದ ಮಾಲೀಕ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಈ ಒಪ್ಪಂದದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. 24,000ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಅವನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಈಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಮೊದಲನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 18,000 ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾಲೀಕನೇ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಪನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ತನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ 6,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಲೀಕನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 6,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ನಾವ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ದ ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ, ವಾಟ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇಸ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್, ಕಂಪನಿ ಈಸ್ ಪುಟಿಂಗ್ or adding rupees 6,000 from its side, and 24,000 is paid to the landlord. Next one is in the year 2020, in the year 2019, 2019 ಸಹ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಗಿಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಹ ಕಂಪನಿ 2,000 ತನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಕಿ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಮಾಲೀಕನಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ 3ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ಇದು ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಕೊನೆಯ ವರ್ಷ. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮೊದಲಿನ ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಪ್ಪಂದದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮೊದಲಿನ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈ ಮೊದಲನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು, 2ನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈ 3ನೇ ವರ್ಷ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕೊನೆಯ ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆದ್ರೆ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ರಿಕವರಿ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ಏನಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, 30,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ, ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ದ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿಯನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಕಂಪನಿ, ತಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಏನ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮೊದಲು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ, ಆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ here only rupees 6,000 can be recovered. Since this is the last year to recover the short workings, therefore whatever irrecovered amount is there, ಯಾವ್ದು ರಿಕವರಿ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ರಿಕವರಿ ಕಾಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ 24,000 ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಲೀಕನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾಲೀಕನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ, 6,000 ತನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ ಕಂಪನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ 2,000 ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇರತ್ತೋ ಆ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಸರಾಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4ನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 2 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ. 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಾವು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಸರಾಸರಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್. ಈಗ 2 ತಿಂಗಳ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 2 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 4,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್. 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 4,000 ತೆಗೆದಾಗ 20,000 ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಆ ವರ್ಷದ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿನೂ 20,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ 20,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ. ಅಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 20,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಹೊಲದ ಮಾಲೀಕನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ವೇ ಹೌ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಚಾರ್ಟ್. ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಇದರ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. 3 ಖಾತೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಖಾತೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ the journal entries. Without the journal entries, we can't prepare these accounts. That is why before going to prepare royalty account, short workings account and landlord account, let us see what are the journal entries which we can pass in this problem. Okay, just you see, in the year 2018, just try to understand here. In the year 2018, when the amount is payable to landlord, payable ಇನ್ನು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. When the actual amount is payable, in that case we pass one journal entry. That journal entry is royalty account is to be debited. Very simple thing is there. Royalty account is to be debited. ಏನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ actual royalty? Just you see, if you prepare the table, easily you can pass the journal entries. See here, actual royalty is rupees how much? 18,000. That I am going to take here, rupees 18,000. Here rupees 18,000 is not given to the landlord. Here a landlord has received rupees 24,000 in the first year. Because of that reason, here what we have to take, we have to take even short workings account. Short workings account is also debited with the amount of rupees 6,000. Whatever short working is there, rupees 6,000 deficit amount, that also we have to debit here. Now total amount comes to rupees how much? 24,000. Royalty account 18,000 plus short working ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದು 6,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, to whom it is to be paid? To the landlord, right? But actual payment is not yet made to landlord's account. Rupees how much? 24,000. This is the entry we are passing for the amount payable, being the royalty payable to landlord. Here royalty means what? Here 24,000 we have to take minimum rent. Minimum rent is to be taken here. 18,000 plus 6,000, 24,000 is to be taken. This is the first journal entry. Next journal entry is when the actual royalty is paid, when the amount is paid. This rupees 24,000 is payable, right? When the amount is paid, that time what journal entry we have to pass? We have to pass landlord account is to be debited. Landlord's account is to be debited. Next one is to cash account. Cash goes out from the business. How much amount is paid? 24,000 and rupees 24,000 being cash paid. To whom? To the landlord. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಗೆ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. First one is the due entry, or whenever the amount is payable, this entry we have to pass. See, in case if there is no short working in the year, in that case simply we have to take royalty account to landlord account. Next one is when the payment is made, here landlord account is credited, here we have to debit because he is the receiver. Next one is to cash account. Cash is the real account, hence cash account is to be credited here. Next, third journal entry. See, at the end of every year, here royalty is the amount of expense. To whom? To the company. Here the coal company is paying royalty every year. Therefore, that amount is a charge to the profit and loss account. Because of that reason, what we have to do? We have to debit the amount of royalty to the profit and loss account of that company. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ್ರಿ, ಕಂಪನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ವರ್ಷದ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಏನು ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಖರ್ಚು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಖಾತೆಯನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ವೆನ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್, journal entry is profit and loss account is to be debited because we transfer this balance to the profit and loss account. Profit and loss account is to be debited and to royalty account. To royalty account. What is the amount of actual royalty here? Only 18,000 is to be taken here. 18,000, 18,000. What narration do you write? Being royalty transferred to P and L account. Transferred to P and L account. Very simple thing is that. Very simple thing. This is the what you call way how we have to pass the journal entries. In the year 2019, again we have to pass the journal entries in the similar way. See, when the royalty is payable, here also you see actual royalty is less than the minimum rent. Here short workings account will appear. That is why here what is to be done? Royalty account is to be debited. What is the amount of actual royalty? 22,000. 22,000. Next one is short workings account is also debited because here short working is there. Rupees how much? Rupees 2,000. Next one is amount payable to landlord is how much? To landlord account. To landlord account. Rupees 24,000. Same narration you have to write, being the royalty payable to landlord. Royalty and short working both together, together 24,000 will be paid here. Next entry, same entry we have to pass, landlord's account to cash account. When the cash is paid to landlord, here landlord account is to be debited. Landlord account is to be debited to cash account. What is the amount? 24,000. 24,000 and 24,000. And the third one is, again, we have to transfer the actual royalty to profit and loss account. What is the third journal entry? Profit and loss account is to be debited. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು? ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ 22,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 22,000 ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 22,000 to royalty account. Now royalty account gets closed. 22,000. Same narration you have to write. Next one is in the third what you call year. Here I write in the year 2020. The year 2020. Here what is the first journal entry? Here actual royalty is more than the minimum rent, right? Recovery is also there and irrecovery is also there. That is why here what we need to do is, when the actual royalty is more, that time journal entry is royalty account is to be debited. See, if short working is there, then only short working account we have to take. Otherwise short workings account doesn't appear here. Actual royalty is how much in the third year? Rupees 30,000. Next one is to landlord account. To landlord account. To landlord account. Rupees how much? 30,000. This is the entry which we have to pass for the amount of royalty payable. When the amount is payable, that time we pass this entry. When the cash is paid to landlord, what journal entry do you pass? Landlord's account is to be debited. Okay. Next one is, here you see, before going to make the what you call payment, we have to check is there any recovery, because here landlord is paid only rupees how much? Just you see, in the third year landlord is given only rupees 24,000. Therefore here company will recover rupees 6,000 from the landlord and only 24,000 is given to the landlord. Total amount of royalty in that year is rupees 30,000. That is why here a landlord account is to be debited. Next one is short workings amount is there, that is why here short working amount the company is going to recover. Here you see short working account is debited, right? That is why here we have to write to short workings account. To short workings account. Short workings account. Next one is to cash account. This is the entry to cash account. What is the meaning of this? Just try to understand. Landlord will get rupees how much? Only 24,000. Landlord's account is debited 24,000 and rupees 6,000 is recovered. Therefore here cash given to the landlord. I mean here landlord's account is debited with the amount of rupees how much? Here just you see. Sorry. Okay, here second entry is landlord's account is to be debited with the amount of rupees how much? 30,000. 30,000. And the short workings account is credited with the amount of rupees 6,000 because 6,000 is recovered here. And the remaining amount of rupees 24,000 is given to the landlord. Here what we have to do? We have to write the narration being short workings recovered and the cash paid to landlord. After the recovery of short workings, cash paid to landlord is rupees how much? 24,000. That narration you have to write. Next one is, third one is as usual, whatever the royalty is there, that royalty amount we have to transfer to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account is to be debited. Next one is to royalty account. To royalty account. And you remember here if the irrecovered short working is there in this year, that irrecovered short working is also transferred to profit and loss account. That is why either you can pass two journal entries or you can also pass one combined journal entry. Okay, here for your understanding, what do? I pass one more entry for this. Okay, here actual royalty of rupees 30,000 is to be passed to profit and loss account. Now royalty account gets closed. Next one is irrecovered short working is there rupees 2,000. This is a loss to the company. Hence, what journal entry I am passing here? I am transferring to profit and loss account rupees 2,000 to short workings account. To short workings account. This recovered short workings, you can write the narration being irrecovered short workings transferred to profit and loss account. Short workings transferred to P&L account. Very simple thing is that. These are the journal entries which we come across in the third year. Next one is in the fourth year, simple journal entries are there. Here 20,000 is the actual royalty and minimum rent is also 20,000. Therefore, here first journal entry, royalty account is debited to landlord account 20,000, 20,000. When cash is paid to the landlord, journal entries landlord account is debited to cash account 20,000, 20,000. When a royalty account is closed, then profit and loss account to royalty account 20,000, 20,000. Simple three journal entries are there in the what you call fourth year. This way we have to pass the journal entries. I hope you understood this one. Okay, with the help of these journal entries, we can easily prepare a royalty account, short workings account and landlord's account. Just let us prepare a royalty account. Okay, in the royalty account, first we will take the first entry. Royalty account is debited, short workings account is debited to landlord's account. Therefore, on the debit side of royalty account, I write the year 2018. 2018. Royalty account 18,000 is there, and here to which account we have credited? To landlord's account. That is why here opposite account's name we have to write to landlord's account. To landlord's account. What is the amount of actual royalty? Rupees 18,000. Very simple thing is there. When this royalty account is closed, just you see the third journal entry, profit and loss account is debited and royalty account is credited. That is why on the credit side of royalty account, you write year 2018 by profit and loss account rupees 18,000. Just you see the actual royalty column in the table which we prepared, and with the help of that easily you can enter the entries here. 18,000 and 18,000. See, in the first year, actual amount of royalty rupees 18,000. When we transfer it to profit and loss account, this royalty account gets closed. Next one is, you take the year 2019. Again, the same entry. See here, royalty account is debited. Rupees 22,000 is there. Only amount of royalty will change. Entry remains same. Landlord's account. What is the amount of royalty? 22,000. At the end of the year 2019, transfer it to profit and loss account. Third entry, you see, profit and loss account, 22,000. Now, this year, royalty account is closed. Next one is, go to the year 2020. In the year 2020, royalty account is rupees 30,000 to landlord account. Here you write to landlord account. To landlord account, rupees how much? Rupees 30,000. Rupees 30,000, and transfer it to profit and loss account by profit and loss account. Rupees how much? Rupees 30,000. Now account gets closed. 30,000, 30,000. In the similar way, in the fourth year, actual royalty is 20,000. I told you. In the year 2021, actual royalty is how much? 20,000. Therefore, 20,000 we have to write here. 2021, transfer the same to profit and loss account. Rupees how much? 20,000. Now account is closed. 20,000, 20,000. See, within few minutes we can prepare royalty account. One side you have to write to landlord's account and close it by transferring the balance to profit and loss account. This is the way how we have to prepare royalty account. Next one is, what we have to do is, we have to prepare short workings account. Just you see how short workings account appears. I will prepare short workings account. Remember, short workings account is prepared only for the first year, and also if the recovery is there, that we are entering in the third year. Short workings account. Here what are the important columns? First one is the year column, particulars, amount. Next one is, here also you write year, particulars, and amount in rupees. Here amount in rupees, debit and credit, right? Okay, in the first year there is a short working, you see. In the year 2018, short working account is debited with the amount of rupees how much? 6,000, and landlord's account is credited. That is why here on the debit side of short workings account, I am writing opposite account's name. Which is the opposite account here? Landlord. Landlord's account. What is the amount of short working? Only short working we have to show here, because already 18,000 has been shown in the royalty account. Now rupees 6,000 short working only we have to write here. To landlord's account, rupees how much? 6,000. See, every year short workings account is to be closed. How to close this one? Here the short working, if not recovered in the next year, again it goes on accumulating. That is why here what we need to do is, we have to close at the end of the year this short workings account in this style by balance carried on rupees 6,000. Rupees 6,000 you have to close this one. Now closing balance of short workings account of rupees 6,000 in the year 2018 will become the opening balance for the year 2019. That you have to remember. 2019, first you have to bring the balance. To balance brought down rupees how much? 6,000. Now you enter the entries of the year 2019. In the year 2019, again short working is there, rupees how much? 2,000. Therefore short workings account is debited to landlord account. Again I am writing here to landlord account. To landlord account, rupees how much? Only 2,000 we have to take, because in the royalty account 22,000 has already been taken, and 2,000 we have to take in the short workings account. Again in the second year we have to close the account in the same style. In the year 2019, close the account. By balance carried on. What is the amount now? Rupees 8,000. Rupees 8,000. This is the closing balance of short workings in the second year. Therefore, this is to be taken as the opening balance in the year 2020. To balance wrote down rupees 8,000. Okay. Now you see in the year 2020, short working is recovered. How much? Rupees 6,000. Landlord's account is debited. Short workings account is credited with the amount of rupees 6,000. That is why here short workings account is to be credited in the year 2020. We have to write the opposite account. Which is the opposite account here? Landlord. Landlord's account is to be written here. What is the amount recovered? Rupees 6,000. Rupees 6,000 is recovered. Got this one? Try to understand here. Total short working amount was rupees 8,000, but only rupees 6,000 was recovered in that year, in the year 2020, and rupees 2,000 is the net loss to the company, which is transferred to profit and loss account. You can see the fourth journal entry here. Profit and loss account is debited and short workings account is credited. That is why here short workings account I am crediting by profit and loss account. Here opposite account is profit and loss account. Rupees 2,000 is transferred to profit and loss account. Now you see here 8,000 and here also rupees 8,000. Next one is, see in the year 2021, question of preparing short workings account doesn't arise because in the year 2021 there is no short working. Short working is not there. Therefore, here no entry is pertaining to the short workings. That is why here only in these 3 years we have to take the entries in the short working account and prepare it like this. See, this is the way how short working account is prepared. I hope you understood this one. Now, the last account which I am going to prepare is landlord's account. Landlord's account. If you remember the journal entries, easily you can prepare different accounts. Okay. Write debit, credit, and write here year particulars amount in rupees. Year particulars amount in rupees. Okay, come to the landlord's account. Go to the first entry. Royalty account is debited when the royalty is payable. Short workings account is debited to landlord's account. It means how to post this entry? Landlord's account is to be credited on the credit side of landlord account. Just you see here landlord account is credited with the amount of rupees 24,000. Therefore, on the credit side of landlord account, first we have to write the year 2018 and write the opposite account's name by royalty account. By royalty account, what is the amount? Rupees 18,000. Next one is by short workings account. Short workings account rupees 6,000. Rupees 6,000. This way we have to post this one. First journal entry is posted. Next one is when the payment is made to landlord. What is the entry? Landlord's account is to be debited and cash account is to be credited. That is why in the year 2018, when the cash was paid, we pass this journal entry. See, landlord's account to cash account. How much amount was paid? 24,000. 24,000. Therefore, here 24,000 we write. Here also rupees how much? 24,000. Very simple thing. Next one is come to the year 2019. Here first journal entry, short working is there. Royalty account is debited with the amount of rupees 22,000. Short workings account 2,000 and landlord's account is credited with the amount of rupees 24,000. That is why in the year 2019, again I am writing by royalty account, opposite account's name, royalty account. What is the minimum royalty, actual royalty here? Rupees 22,000. Next one is short working is there in the second year. Short workings account rupees how much? 2,000. And how much amount was paid in this year? Again 24,000. Therefore, when the cash is paid, journal entry is landlord's account is to be debited. 2019 we write here. Landlord's account is debited and cash account is to be credited with the amount of rupees 24,000. Close the account. 24,000 and here also 24,000. Now come to the year 2020. See here, short workings account is not there in the first entry. Only in case if there is a short working, then only we take royalty account, short workings account and landlord account. But here only royalty account is there. Therefore, royalty account is debited to landlord account. Here I am going to take by royalty account. By royalty account. What is the amount? Rupees 30,000. Rupees how much? 30,000. But here payment is not made up to, rupees 30,000 is not what you call given to the landlord. Because of that reason, here what is done, you see the second entry, landlord's account is debited, short workings account is credited. Rupees 6,000 is recovered out of what? Out of the excess royalties. That is why whenever the recovery is there, we have to debit it. Here what journal entry? Landlord's account is debited and here to short workings account. To short workings account, what is the amount? Rupees 6,000. Rupees 6,000. Next one is, you see, after a recovery of rupees 6,000, how much amount remains? 24,000. Therefore, when the cash is paid to the landlord, cash account is credited with the amount of rupees 24,000. Therefore, here we have to write landlord's account is debited and cash account is credited rupees 24,000. Now it comes to rupees how much? 30,000 and 30,000. Very simple thing. Next one is in the year 2021. In the year 2021, actual royalty is 20,000 and minimum rent is also 20,000. You just go through the royalty chart. In that it is there 20,000 and 20,000. First journal entry, if we pass, what journal entry will come here? Royalty account is to be debited and landlord's account is to be credited. That is why here you write by royalty account. By royalty account with the amount of rupees 20,000. When cash is paid to the landlord, how much amount will be paid here? 20,000 only. Because here minimum rent is reduced to rupees 20,000 because of the strike for 2 months. Proportionately, the minimum rent was reduced in this year. Because of that reason, when the payment was made to the landlord, journal entry is to cash account rupees how much? 20,000. Here you write rupees 20,000 and 20,000. This is the way how we have to prepare landlord's account. Dear students, in order to become perfect in some practical subjects, in some topics, you need to practice more. Just by learning, you can't swim, right? In the similar way, here practice is very important. Try to understand the problem, try to understand how to prepare the royalty chart and go through the journal entries. Then after that, you can easily prepare royalty account, short workings account and landlord's account. I hope you understood this problem. If any doubt is there, if any what you call response is there from your side, you have to respond it by giving comments. And better you share this video even to your friends so that they can also get the benefit of this. Okay, thank you.